I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this curly locks style. I'll begin by showing you the different things we'll be using for this. I have a spray bottle with vitamin E, oil and water, Oki Naturals lock oil, and some rubber bands. Starting off with freshly wet hair. Preferably, you should probably wash your hair before you do this style, but my hair has been washed for the last week, so just went ahead and wet it prior to styling it. Just going to go through to make sure that all the strands are wet. And then I'm going to start off by sectioning off my hair. This would be a great point to figure out what kind of part you want. You can either do middle part, side part, no part, but I usually like to split the hair that way. And then you start braiding. So in order to achieve this style, we are going to be doing 3-strand braids with sections of hair, and then we're going to be bantu knotting them. If you don't know how to braid, there are lots of tutorials on YouTube. Otherwise, it's just your simple basic braid. Now, something different about this that I want to note that you'll want to make sure is once you get to the end, you're going to hold your lock with a rubber band. This style is ideal for short hair, and we know short hair tends to be a little bit stubborn to stay in the braids. When you're done putting your hair in the rubber band, you want to loop the hair back into the braid. So you want to end with a loop at the end and not just the hair sticking out. I'm going ahead and I'm braiding more hair. The smaller sections you do, the tighter your curls are going to be. The larger the sections you do, then the larger your curls are going to be. If you notice that your hair is drying out, go ahead and spray it with your mixture. Again, this is water and vitamin E oil in a bottle. You can use that rose water glycerin mixture, but I just tend to run out of that very quickly. Here I've completed the first section. Now moving on to the back. Now the back, if you're not used to doing your hair, you don't have to be as neat with this. I just focus more on the front just because that's the part that frames my face. As long as the hair is wet and you have it braided somehow, the pattern is going to show. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the back, and you will see the end result very shortly. I left some pieces out on accident, and this might happen to you because you can't see your back. So what I do is I just wrap them around a piece and I put a rubber band at the end to hold them, just to make sure that that piece is not going to remain straight and hold the curl. Final product. Next, we are going to bantu knot the 3 plaits that we've done around our hair. And that's just spinning the hair around itself. So over here, I'm showing you how I do it. Some pieces might require you to loop the rubber band twice, some just once. The less amount of times you loop the rubber band around the bantu knot, the easier it's going to be for takedown. Some people rock this style by itself. If you're bold or if you find that this is a style that you can wear, definitely try it. Now, I thought about it and I would say this is not really me, but I thought it would be cute. So next, I went ahead and applied the oil. We're heading into the winter months. It's fall already, can't believe it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that my scalp is moisturized, and I'm going to go ahead and rub that in. My edges have been experiencing some shedding, which I'll talk about in a different video, so I'm concentrating on those. Once again, spritzing this with water and leaving it on overnight. The next morning after wrapping my hair, I remove this and you should be good to go. How I test to make sure that the hair is ready is when I pull on the bantu knot. Once I unravel the rubber band, the hair should bounce back. I lightly spray the water before I do so, just to make sure that I'm not handling completely dry hair. I'm not saturating it, I just lightly mist it. And as you can see, when I pull, it bounces back, and that means that your curl is going to hold. The style worked well. If you notice that the hair is limp or it doesn't bounce back, then you want to give your hair enough time to dry in that pattern. So over here, I'm just going to go through and take these down. Now, this didn't take me too much time for the first section, taking the rubber bands off from the bantu knots. However, in a little bit, I will show you the struggle that I had taking the actual braids down. I realized I don't have a comb, so I ended up using a pen. Whatever you have will work. So right here, it looks like I'm using a lot of force to remove the rubber band, but I really was just trying to make sure that the rubber band would not snap. So I might look like I'm putting tension, but I'm not putting tension on my hair. Be very careful about how you are handling your hair. On this side, I'm going to show you how I go about removing the braid. It's pretty standard and straightforward, but just in case somebody was interested in seeing how I go about that, I only use the pen to remove the end of the braid with the rubber band. Then I use my hand to unravel the rest of the braid moving up. Then you will see the curl pattern. Over here, you can see that everything from the end to the whole section of the braid ended up curling up or creating that wave pattern. Something I really enjoy about this style is the hair is curled all the way. I've tried different methods for braid outs or twist outs, and usually I find that I have straight pieces or the curl doesn't hold. This is a technique that I've used to ensure that the curl holds throughout, that you don't end up with a curly base of your hair and then the ends are straight. In the back, I actually ended up just cornrowing the two sections and bantu knotting the ends because it was just easier to do that than the single braids, and it ended up being just fine. And this is our final result, guys. I love hair that has some type of texture or pattern to it because it just looks more full. If you're worried about your locks looking thin, I think this is a great way to wear them. That adds that volume. I'm really excited to style it moving forward. You're gonna see that I played around with this style because I wasn't sure how I wanted to wear the hair. It actually had to grow on me. When I originally took them out, the curls were a little bit tighter. So if you run your fingers through it, loosens the curls a little bit. At this point, it would be hard to switch up your part just because your hair has set through the night. But if you wanted to switch your part, you could wrap it that night or for a few hours in the different section that you'd like the part to lay, and then it should be fine. But here I'm just playing around and I was pretty pleased with the result. I was looking for a change, something new. Again, if you have short to medium length hair, I think this is a perfect way to style it. There's definitely different ways that you can wear your hair. Locks are very versatile. Over here, I'm just playing around with different partings. I'm trying to figure out if I wore it straight back. What I also loved about this is the fact that the lengths of my hair, the different lengths with the front being shorter than the back, aren't really apparent because all the locks are in that pattern, so they kind of blend together. So thank you so much for watching the tutorial. I will see you on the next one.